6Three podcast. I'm your host, Joel, with my co-host, Isaiah Ben. It is one of our favorite shows of the year, the NFL preview show.
I'd say it's my favorite.
And I guess conveniently your last. And I hate to bring that up so early to our listeners. It's devastating news, actually. We will rebuild, but we will definitely give Isaiah a chance to say his piece at the end of the show. But we're going to talk about some positive things. The NFL season, unless you're a Lions fan, it may not be so positive.
Yeah.
Let's go about to the division winners, and I'll start with the AFC here. Who do you guys like in the AFC East?
East?
Buffalo Bills.
I got the Bills, man.
I also had the Bills. It's probably the least it's probably the least exciting division in the AFC.
Yeah.
I mean, the AFC West is pretty boring.
I just don't think Mac Jones is the truth enough to even make this competitive, and I really don't see any other. Like the Jets aren't going to do. The Dolphins maybe.
True, yeah, the
Dolphins are going to be fun. I think they'll be fun, but they're not going to be
fun.
good.
I do have them. So I do have the Dolphins. I know we'll get to our playoffs, but I do have them I have them in the playoffs, but I think they're at least going to be at the least. I think their floor this year is competing for the playoffs, playing meaningful football in November, December. I think they're going to be playing meaningful games in December.
If I had to put a number on it, though, I'd probably say 7 and 10. To be honest.
For the Dolphins?
Yeah, I don't have
worse.
In a 17-game season. I just don't think Tua is good.
No,
I think he gets worse. They were 10?
But did they have Fitzpatrick last year though? That was a huge key.
3 games.
I don't know if he necessarily gets worse. I just don't think he's going to make a jump. I don't think he's ever going to be I think he'll always be a great backup quarterback in this league.
So this was a take on the Bills. Best roster in division, best QB by far. If they keep their anti-vaxxers in line, sky's the limit. Which is kind of true. I mean, they might have some vaccine problems, but we'll see.
I think the Vikings are still worse, I saw, percentage-wise.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of them are in the same boat as myself. Not anti-vax, anti-this-vax.
Okay, so Fitzpatrick started 7 games and played in 9. He went 4-3 as a starter. Tua went 6-3.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they go 7 and 10, that does mean that Tua will be markedly worse.
Well, then I guess there's one of my hot takes.
All right. I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think they have a winning season. I think they go
I don't think the running back room is consistent enough.
6.
I don't think Waddle is going to take them to the next level yet. So Devontae Parker pretty much doing it by himself.
Isn't Xavier Howard hurt?
Xavier Howard is hurt. I think he's out for the year. They put him already on IR, and if you've been put on IR in the preseason, your season's done.
Yep.
So. All right, then they'll probably get worse. I still think
they've definitely got great pieces, and they have room to build still. It's not like they're aging rapidly where it's like.
But I was going to say maybe you are right, because last year the Patriots were a bit more of a punching bag than they should be this year. I still don't think they're going to be a playoff team, the Patriots, but they're not going to have Cam Newton throwing for 10 yards, 8 passes for 10 yards and 3 interceptions.
They're not going to have Cam Newton at all.
Yeah. So I don't think Mac Jones takes them to the promised land. It's going to be hard to be worse than Cam Newton was last year.
Cam Newton's going to go back up Dak Prescott this year.
I mean, that wouldn't be the worst spot for him.
I think it's a good fit. Yeah.
It's like RG3 with
and that's another spot where I think he definitely Cam Newton could go to the Baltimore too.
Lamar Jackson. That's what I mean. Lamar being backed up by RG3. That's similar to
people are talking about Cam Newton going to the Lions. I'm that doesn't fit.
No, it doesn't work.
No,
I don't know. So I think we're unanimous on the Bills winning this. I don't have another team going into the playoffs, but I do have the Patriots as the 8th seed. I have them on the outside looking in the playoffs.
Okay, I don't know if this is a hot take. Are we doing hot takes all as one, or can I?
You can just randomly spit your hot
I think
take.
the Jets are the worst team in football.
I have them as my number 1 overall pick when we do
that. That is not the word. That's not a hot take. That's a.
No, I think they are I think they go 1-16. I think they are going to be
I think
have
Zach
that one,
Wilson
16.
is going to. I think there will be times this season when Zach Wilson, people go like, man, if he was on a good team, he might not be that bad. But he I don't think like. So at work we have I work at a homeless mission, and we had a resident who's a big Jets fan. He was talking about how good Zach Wilson is and how Robert Saleh is like such an upgrade over Adam Gase, which he is. Like Adam Gase,
So is a
back-
Chihuahua.
but like what does Robert Saleh really do for the Jets this year?
Hey, we looked when we did our position rankings. Their defensive front looks better.
Yeah.
And I think they use a defensive-minded guy. I think they're going to be in some games, but I think they're going to have some rough ones too. When you have a rookie quarterback, might lay 3 picks in a game.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, they don't have a very favorable schedule.
No.
I think the Eagles have the Lions have the second hardest. Eagles have the hardest.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they play. Let's see. I mean, yeah.
But I mean,
that's
they're
really
not in a tough. That's the other thing. They're not in a really tough division. Like you're gonna get smacked by the Bills, and you could even best case split with the Patriots and split with the Dolphins this year. Best case, I wouldn't
Best
rule it out. So we'll see. But let's go to the AFC West. What do you guys have there? Is this
The
one obvious? Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yep.
It's still obvious. I mean, I think we said last year, I think we both said like maybe it's not going to be as runaway, right? As it was still mostly a runaway. I just don't think there's a team there that really threatens them.
I think
There's
it'll be
not a-
really. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, there's the Chargers are up and coming. I think. I mean, I think they're going to be better, especially Justin Herbert playing all year. He's going to be really good. The Raiders are always fun, I guess, and they've got weapons. Their offense should be pretty good. And the Broncos are. I think the Broncos are terrible. I don't like the Broncos.
I have the Broncos in the wild card.
I was actually going to say I think the Broncos might be the best.
I think the Chargers are going to surpass the Broncos as a second team,
Sure.
but I just don't.
I think the race
that-
for second is going to be a lot of fun. Like I think that if with the 3 wild card spots, because they're sticking to that playoff format, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the 3 wild card spots in play now, I think though I could see those 3 teams like going back and forth in that like 6th or 7th playoff spot almost all year. I think like probably towards the end of the year, the Broncos will probably drop off, and it might be the Raiders.
I have the Broncos as the 7th seed in the playoffs, and I have them beating. I have the Patriots.
Winning a playoff game.
I don't have. I have them as the 7th seed.
Oh,
They're gonna win. They're gonna lose to the 2 seed.
Okay.
But I think
You just went from that to I have them winning really quickly.
I know I
Oh.
didn't finish my sentence in my head. That was the problem. I just lapse of judgment, I guess. But no, I have the Chargers and the Patriots as the 2 teams that are kind of on the outside looking in the playoffs, but definitely going to be competitive there.
I think the Chargers are going to push the Chiefs in both the games that they play them. I think those will be really good games. This could be a fun division to watch, but I still think Kansas City is going to win.
Right. But I think the
14
divisional
14 games. I mean, I still think they're going to this year. They could win 13 or 14 games pretty easily.
I don't know how impactful Brandon Staley's going to be as a rookie coach with the Chargers too. That's another thing to think about. There could just be another learning curve where they're going to make more mistakes trying to adjust to a different regime.
Yeah, I think the difference this year will be when the Chiefs play those divisional games. They're going to be like fun games to watch. Because I feel like the past couple of years, you see the Chiefs play a divisional opponent, you're like, whatever. I don't need to watch them play the Broncos. But like honestly, I mean, I don't know where our rankings ended up, but our Broncos defense was very highly rated. I think
I think the Bucs were the only team that was better defense.
Yeah, I think all but their linebackers were in like the top 5, and their linebackers were even like top half for sure.
I think we had them at 10.
So like I think that all the divisional games are going to be very good to watch. It's probably the best to watch division, the most fun to watch division in the AFC. I think like the North and South can also be very, very, very competitive. I think this is going to be the most fun to watch them.
Yeah.
I think even the Raiders beat the Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
I think
Raiders are fun. Like I said, they're always fun. They always win some games that they're not supposed to, and then they usually.
Gruden has a personality.
Right. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to like.
Orders not supposed to though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun though. Like at least from a fan, like a general football fan perspective, I used to like hate
those 4:30 games when it was like the Chargers and Broncos, you're like, well, I don't want to watch this crap. And there's only 3 games on, so it's like you have to watch it. And this year it's going to be like, man, those 4:30 games, like they're going to actually come back on and be like, oh yeah, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could be a fun division. But I do think, again, I don't know what we're going to expect from the Chiefs this year. We'll get to it, obviously, when we get to the playoffs. But, yeah, or bust pretty much. But
I mean, until Mahomes retires, it's Super Bowl or bust for the Chiefs.
I know. I feel like every year he plays, we're going to be like, yeah, they're making it pretty far in our list, unless some team comes up and blows. But let's skip to the AFC.
You know, it's kind of, let me make a political reference.
Okay.
It's kind of like Afghanistan.
Hmm?
When one power leaves, something will take its place. So when the Patriots stopped being that team that was there every single year, another team was going to take their place.
So you're calling the Chiefs the Taliban?
No, I'm calling the Patriots the Taliban.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, yeah, the Chiefs. No, the
Chiefs
Chiefs would be the
as
team.
an analogy.
Yeah. It would be. Yep.
Especially because the Patriots are the Americans.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. That worked. That kind of works.
There's just always a team that's on top. Like every sport, there's always a team that is like the Dodgers for the last 4 years.
I know.
It's just like, they're going to be in at least playing for a pennant. And you have the Patriots, now the Chiefs. You have like the Penguins.
It's so much harder to do in football. Though. I feel like it's much less.
Yeah.
In football.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much parity. I mean, it's too hard. I mean, the game is too difficult. You know.
So last year's most competitive division we had on our preview was AFC South. We all were very high on the Colts and the Titans and Texans at the time. The Texans have turned into what appears to be a dumpster fire.
Yep.
But the Colts and the Titans, who's winning this division here?
I had the Titans winning.
Titans winning it.
I was very low on the Titans last year.
I had the Colts winning it, and I was very high on the Titans last year. I had the Titans winning the division.
Here's another hot take. Ryan Tannehill's a Pro Bowler.
Oh.
Enough Tannehill apologist.
Like that one year that Mitch Trubisky made it in. Yeah, they're gonna go to the 8th guy, and
he's gonna be a Pro Bowl starter.
Oh wow, he's gonna be voted in as a Pro Bowl starter.
He's gonna be top 2. I'm gonna say top 2 quarterback in the AFC. What do the kids do these days? Sheesh. For the AFC.
Man.
Wow.
You know what? Hot takes are fun here. I'm all about.
Well, I'm just saying, okay, Mahomes is gonna be in the I assume he's gonna be in championship weekend, and I don't what
Lamar Allen. Come on, man.
Yeah.
In the AFC, I don't know, man.
There's a lot of good QBs. Here's my problem with the Colts.
One of
them. You've always been high on Tannehill. That's for sure.
Okay, I won't say top 2 in the Pro Bowl. I'll just say he is a Pro Bowl quarterback.
I know, but so is Mitchell Trubisky, so I don't really like that.
So,
things can fall.
My problem with the Colts is I just don't think Carson Wentz is going to be healthy.
That's Sam Ellinger.
What?
Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, see, that's no.
Well, no, and Jacob Easton?
No. No.
It's Ellinger.
It's Ellinger.
Okay.
And it's not going to work out. No. So if Wentz isn't healthy enough, they don't have, to me, they don't have a chance. Their defense is good. They've got some weapons. I like the Colts with a fully operational Carson Wentz. I don't like them without him.
Joel was right. Jacob Eason is the second.
It is Jacob Eason. Still not good.
Oh, yeah. Sam Ellinger's out 6 weeks.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
UCL strain. Yeah.
He would have been the backup, but he's out.
So you're on your 3rd string QB.
They'll find a guy.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Jake Fromm actually just got cut too.
Jake Fromm. Great. So he was
Jake from State Fromm, yeah.
The 3rd story on Google is 8 reasons.
He's going to join Jacob Eason again, who he beat out.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I feel this so much. Is that a hot take?
No.
Okay, sure.
Freezing cold because it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, and then Jacksonville.
No.
It's just going to be fun to watch Trevor Lawrence, but they're not going to be good. It's going to be fun to watch Trevor Lawrence.
They are going to be so
6th overall pick though, so they move up.
Hot take. Urban Meyer gone after 1 year.
Oh baby, I'm loving this so far. We're pulling up some good hot takes.
Urban Meyer gone after 1 year. I don't care how, whether it's on his own, whether he has another phantom heart attack or whether he gets fired. He's gonna
I don't know if he'd get fired after 1 year. I'd be heavily shocked.
I think
But-
he's
I just feel like they were already
clearly
going out
of
on
his element.
such a branch to hire him the first time, in the first place. I mean,
He's always going to pull a Nick Saban, be a legendary college coach, try the NFL 1 year and be like, F this, see ya.
Yeah, he's gonna be really bad.
and then he's going to go coach USC.
He's going to bring back Matt Leinart as a 9th-year eligibility.
He's going to take a year off, do the Fox Network halftime show again.
Yep.
Be like, I lost my passion for the game after that season in Jacksonville, and now I think I have it back, and I'm going to USC.
Like that vernacular is so Urban Meyer that it's like a hot
Oh, yeah.
take. It's so eerily. Like you just hit it. That's exactly how it's going to happen.
I'm going to have a bunch of coordinators beat their wives.
He's gonna be. I'm telling you, he's gonna come up with something because he's never lost, so he's gonna hate it because he's gonna lose, right?
Yeah, they're not winning more than 6 games.
Yeah.
They're not even gonna. I don't even. They're gonna.
I know.
win.
That's what I'm saying. More than 6 games. 6 and 11 is the best
I mean,
case
they're gonna
scenario.
play
like
They do get to play the Texans twice.
6 would be incredible, in my opinion. They
They're-
are
the
not
Texans
good.
and Jaguars are going to score 1,000 points against each other.
Trevor Lawrence wins Rookie of the Year if they probably win 6.
Oh, he
Yeah.
wins. He wins Rookie of the Year no matter what, man.
Oh, you've got it.
It's just like it's one of those years where it's just like, yeah, it's gonna happen.
They've already written his name in the
Yeah.
trophy.
I
Yeah.
think he's gonna get hurt, but that's me.
Yeah,
it's
well-
hard to predict.
We'll definitely get there. I do have the Colts, but then I have the Titans in as a wild card, as the number 6 wild card. So
Yeah.
I
I think it's going to be a lot like last year where the Colts and Texans just aren't really a factor, but it is a good race between the Texans and the Jaguars aren't a factor, but the Colts and Titans have like a really good race. Because that happened at the end of last year. Like it was kind of back and forth for a while, but like I think it went down to the very last game of the season between them two, if I'm not mistaken.
that or
Or maybe
last
the-
two,
yeah,
maybe last
second-
2. Yeah.
But I think it'll be pretty similar at least. I think it's going to be. It's just the quarterback question mark with the Colts is just tough. Like I wish they should have just kept Jacoby Brissett.
Mhm. You'd like to think so.
I'd like to go Jacoby Brissett, but that's just me. I'm a proponent of African American quarterbacks.
Wow, white savior over here. All right. AFC North. Who do you guys have? Is it hurt you to say the Cleveland Browns win the division?
No,
It does, but because I don't have them. The Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, that's my number 5 wild card spot.
The Baltimore Ravens are gonna win the division.
I have the Browns being quite good.
I haven't figured out what seed I want them in, but I would imagine they're a top 2 seed just because I have them in my conference championship game. So that pretty much rounds out my playoffs now. So
Yeah, I have the Ravens making the playoffs as well. But I have the Browns. I mean, it's a tough division at the top with the Bills, with the Browns. But I honestly could see them being the 2 seed. I don't think they will, but it would not surprise me. Okay.
I think with the Chiefs and Bills, I think
I
would probably put them ahead.
Right, for sure.
But I think they're ahead of the AFC South one.
they're definitely, yeah.
I think
was gonna
AFC
say,
South is 4.
The Browns are definitely after the Chiefs and Bills, they are definitely right at the next.
Yeah, I just think Baker Mayfield, he's a good enough quarterback. That's the thing. And
I think he's upper. He's not top. He's top half. for
I
sure.
wouldn't say he's upper echelon. He's top half. Yeah, top half.
He's a
14,
good season
12
away-
to 14. Yeah.
He's a good season away from being top 10.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, maybe next year he is top 10 if he has a good year. Oh, my
He's got a lot of
goodness.
weapons. So
And it's going to be interesting because I don't think it's going to be one of those stupid ESPN stories were they better without Odell Beckham? But when Odell went out, they played very cohesive. Without I don't know if it was actually that they were we don't have to force the ball and make Odell happy. I don't know. I don't think he's that much of a diva. I know he's a diva,
but like I don't think he's like, why did you throw me the ball 10 times? Like I don't think he's that mad. But like their offense once Odell went out was like cooking pretty well. So I don't know if it's going to be a thing where adding him in just like stokes that fire and makes it even better, like even more cohesive because they have such a good playmaker, or if they try to change everything to like feed Odell. Like it'll be interesting to see how his return goes.
Oh, yeah. So what's your order on the AFC playoff range? So I've got the Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Colts, Ravens, Titans, Broncos.
I have Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Titans, Ravens, Colts, Dolphins.
Okay.
Dolphins.
I do have the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see the I don't know. So Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Titans, Browns, and then
Probably got the Colts in there somewhere.
yeah, Colts. That was it. Yep.
You need one more.
One more, yep.
And I know I'm sitting there. I was debating back and forth, but I think it's going to be the
Chargers. Yeah, Chargers or Patriots. Kind of figured to be yours.
Chargers. Yeah, Chargers.
I have the Broncos. Yeah, so I mean, we've got some variety in there. That's good.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think both conferences, like our top 3, are definitely our top 2. Like we're gonna have some repetition. Like we're gonna have a few that are like, yeah, they're gonna be there, but it's kind of those like 5, 6, 7 wild card spots that might be a bit different. It'll be kind of interesting.
All right, let's go to the NFC East.
Oh, the NFC Beast. I mean, I think
They weren't the NFC Beast last
yeah,
year.
I think it's the Cowboys. Like by a long shot.
I mean, you have to assume Dak can be healthy for a year, then like Zeke doesn't get suspended or something.
I think last year we made the rule of like let's assume there's no like big season ending.
I know that's why we get the asterisks on our predictions last year,
yeah. But because we made those like last year when we were like, yeah, this could happen, but let's not like pretend it's gonna. So assuming health, Dak leads them to a championship, possibly more than 10 wins. Depends if Ezekiel Elliott feels like
a divisional championship, or are you already going to Super Bowl?
No, a division. So,
You just said leads him to a championship. I was like, son, hot take.
Sorry. No, I just think like I don't see much improvement from the football team or from the Giants or from the other team that I always forget.
So
The Eagles, yeah.
So I disagree a little. I don't disagree with your thought. I think the Cowboys, if Dak is healthy, are the winner here. But I do think the football team is going to be much improved. That defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick just means they might be able to score some points. Like he scores points. I'm not saying Ryan Fitzpatrick is all, this all amazing.
Magic always runs out.
Yeah, it always does. But you know what? I think he can lead them to a good amount of wins here. They're not going to be great on offense, but that defense is fearsome. I mean, that's going to be a good defense so that'll probably keep them in a lot of games. And then, hopefully some of those weapons develop a little bit more for Fitzmagic and something could happen here. So
I would say that the Washington football team and the Denver Broncos are like the same team in different divisions. Not like they play the same, but like just so defensively.
yeah.
And a quarterback that should just get him over there. Like Teddy Bridgewater is a quarterback for the Broncos. I mean,
yeah, he can win you a couple games.
Yeah.
Same with Fitzpatrick.
And I gauge them as similar talent levels.
Mhm.
But I think the WFT finishes with like 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah,
I think
can see
I
an
can
8 and 8.
I could think they could have a few more even. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just so weird with 17.
7. I know 7 and 10 doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
7 and 9 sounds better. So yeah, I'm sticking with the Cowboys just based on health. I mean, because even their defense looks good. We looked at their linebacker core and we're like, holy crap! Like some good things could happen there.
Yep.
But
I mean, they're going to definitely like be in some games that they really shouldn't be in because of that defense. And there are going to be some teams that like just can't break away, like are clearly better, but they just can't break away during the game because that defense is just smothering.
NFC West. we had a bet on this a couple weeks back. I think you had us bet the winner.
Yes, we did a podcast bet on the 49ers. I changed my pick like 20 minutes ago. So 10 minutes before.
Not the bet, though.
Pre-show. No, I can't change.
Oh, it's locked. All right, good. Yeah, I have the 49ers. I'm sticking with it.
I have the Rams.
Yeah, I got the Rams, but
Oh my gosh, why don't we just pick the Rams? It was no.
Because I think safe money is on the 49ers.
because they added Sony Michel.
Oh my, that's the
They
missing
did add
that's the
Joey
missing
Bosa.
link,
They do
yeah.
actually have a
They do
running
have-
If he
they
doesn't
have
get
a
hurt and die
running
every year.
back.
I don't know. I don't think Sony Michel's a difference maker, but even if he's healthy for like 6 games, I think he helps.
I hate picking the NFC West. I hate when we have to talk.
It's so competitive.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Because
All 4 teams are good.
yes, and at least three teams could if I told you that the NFC representative in the Super Bowl was the 49ers or the Rams or the Seahawks, you really wouldn't be that surprised at any of them. The Cardinals would be like, what the heck? That's crazy. But I mean, the Seahawks.
Cardinals are a team that's like,
What was that?
even the Cardinals are a team where it's like, man, they're fun to watch. They could win some games.
Yeah.
Like,
The top 3 teams, not discounting the Cardinals, I think they have a good shot at a winning season. I'm just saying those 3, the Rams, 49ers, and the Seahawks is just they can compete with any team. The Seahawks, have big problems.
I was going to say the
Yeah.
Seahawks could very well be right there with the Cardinals this year as the third team.
But they could also be right there with the Rams.
It's part of me is just you take it's DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Russell Wilson. Chris Carson hasn't stayed healthy in a while, and I don't like the offensive line still. That defense still looks mediocre at best.
Right. But
I don't see. I don't see. Yeah, I guess that he did make all the difference in the world early on last year. They started out really good. I don't know. I think 49ers are just the safer pick, but it's again, there's uncertainty at quarterback. Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, any one of those guys that you put back there, honestly, probably finish you with the same record. I don't think any one of those guys is either far and away. So if the 49ers, if they feel comfortable with Trey Lance, you're probably getting the same result you would with Jimmy Garoppolo.
yeah, with some mobility.
Yeah. So, if they see that as an advantage, that's why I think Trey Lance will play this year for sure.
I think
He plays week 1.
I think they have him in some plays.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
then
they're going to have
I think he could buy himself a starting job at some point this year. Is what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Or Jimmy doesn't play at all in some games. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree with you.
And I don't think I'm going to label it as a hot take. I think that's a thing.
Nope.
So I'm sticking with the 49ers, but it looks like we've kind of switched over to the Rams on some of those. I have the Rams and the Seahawks both in. Seahawks is my 7 and Rams is my 6.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense. I don't love the Seahawks at all. I really don't. But I think the Rams, to me, I think with the 49ers, the uncertainty at quarterback has caused me to move the Rams ahead of them. And I think Stafford's going to have a really good year. So
I hope he does, or I hope he gets hurt week 1 and we have a good pick.
yeah, in all actuality, I hope the Rams lose every game, and that would be really cool. But
Yeah, it's hard to be complaining because it's hard as a Lions fan. It's hard to complain because you want to see Stafford have success, but you're also if we get that good pick, sweet.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So it's a win-win.
Time.
Okay.
I have all 4 teams making the play.
How did you do that?
I changed it pre-show.
How is that even possible? Well,
Is
it
it
is
possible? If it's possible, it's gonna happen. There's 17 games now. That means there's 11 out of conference games. I just who else
That just seems so unreasonable, but it's.
Well,
You can
look at
definitely
NFC,
count it as a hot take.
because I
But
was looking at the NFC. So okay, if you look at the other conferences, the second best team in the East is the football team. The second best team in the North is the Bears, probably. The second best team in the South is the Saints, probably. And I think they take a step back.
so I have the Saints as the other one that gets
I
in.
had the Saints, yes. My non-hot take is that the Saints make it instead of the Cardinals.
I'm high on Jameis, dude. I think Jameis is going to be. But yeah, I think actually I do have the Bears as the team that's on as the 8th seed on the outside looking in. So I think the Vikings are going to have their own share of COVID issues. I feel like that locker room's they're just going to lose so much gel that they've established because of just everyone wants to fight about everything. And I feel like that vaccine issue could be a real big stir and sidetrack from what's important, like football.
Sure.
I did have something to share. Warren Sharp, I don't know if you guys know the name.
I know Warren Sharp, yep.
Great name on Twitter. Very in-depth football analysis. There was a tweet. Someone was talking about, he said something about like the 49ers play calling and like how awesome it is. And someone said, I get that Shanahan has good schemes, but I've never seen so much love for a coach with a losing record after 60 plus games. And then Warren Sharp brings a lot of stats, and he said 70% basically Kyle Shanahan's careers as a play caller have come with these QBs: CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, Connor Shaw, RG3, Rex Grossman, old Donovan McNabb, Kirk Cousins, John Beck, Matt Schwab, and Sage Rosenfels.
Those are all elite quarterbacks, so I don't know what the problem is.
Sage Rosenfels.
So like
Sexy Rexy, baby.
Hey, he's a Super Bowl playing QB.
Yeah, and one of the worst Super Bowl playing quarterbacks of all time, but yeah.
Besides Matt Ryan, he's never had like a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if Trey Lance is like everything that he can be, like Kyle Shanahan's gonna be like
Yeah, I think Trey Lance's ceiling is prime Cam Newton. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
For sure. That's an MVP level QB.
Yeah, for a couple of years. Yeah, for sure. I think it works, but I don't know if I'm gonna officially pen him in as that kind of quarterback
yet. But I'm just saying, like, even with bad QBs, Kyle Shanahan is a good scheme and had.
Let's just say already, I believe Trey Lance is better than half of those quarterbacks who listed.
Yes,
good.
Already.
Week one. Yep. So NFC South. Are we all sticking with the Bucs?
I am doing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking about it. Ben. What you thinking?
Yes, the Bucs.
Okay, you definitely had to think about it. I saw
the Bucs are. I really didn't have to think about that. I mean, here's the thing. I think the Saints. I'm pretty high on them, and I think the Falcons are actually going to be better than they were last year. They're not good though. They're just.
Yeah, no, I have them as the 4th overall pick.
The Bucs are the best team in football.
I have them as the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll obviously get to that point, but I mean, the 32nd pick. What the crap was I saying? The Jets. Falcons are number 4 though, and I actually think the Panthers are still going to be like around the 8 or 9.
Yeah. I think the Panthers are going to be.
I mean, with healthy Christian McCaffrey.
Healthy Sam Darnold, a mono-free Sam Darnold. Are we looking at some progress?
No.
Sam
Darnold is worse than Teddy Bridgewater.
I tend to agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold might be worse than Zach Wilson.
Ooh. I would agree.
Put it in as a hot take.
No, I agree too.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's that hot. I mean, they're not good.
Equal. I think it's equal enough where it's not really a hot take. But
well, I mean, and it doesn't. I mean, one guy's a rookie and one guy's been in the league for a while. Sam Darnold is not good. He's not good.
Just needs a fresh start, fresh face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got the Saints as the top wild card spot, but I do have the Bucs as the number 1 seed.
Yep. I'd agree.
I don't think they're going to have a slow start. I think they're going to keep going where they left off last year.
Oh, they're going to.
They had a slow start last year. They had a slow start last year, but I think they started 3-3 last year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and they lost. They destroyed all the bad teams. Pretty much most of the year, they just annihilated teams like the Lions.
They also lost 31-3, I think, to Drew Brees in like week 4.
Yeah, but then they got their butts kicked by good teams, right? And everybody was like, "Are they even good?" And I'm like, "Guys, they're good. Just wait till they figure it out. They're gonna figure it out." And then they did.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I think they pick up right where they left off. It's just like it's gonna be them and the Chiefs like going back and forth for the best team every week.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I just want to say, if you didn't pick Sam Darnold in the 2018 draft, you could have had someone like Quentin Nelson, a generational lineman, Josh Allen, Mike McGlinchey, who's pretty good. Oh, Josh Rosen, that's a bad one.
So RJ, our very first podcast that we did was previewing this draft, and RJ and I redid our quarterback rankings for that, and we were both unanimous. We said Josh Allen we think is the best quarterback. We just didn't think he'd get picked first overall. we thought he'd be the best quarterback.
Could have had Darius Leonard or Nick Chubb.
Yeah. We had Baker Mayfield as the number 2 quarterback in that class. And then I think we said Sam Darnold would have been the 3rd best in that class. And I think we had Lamar at 4.
I would have rather taken Dallas.
But we are not high on Rosen. We are not high on Rosen. So I also feel good about that.
DJ Chark.
Yeah.
I mean, Fred Warner was picked in the 3rd round.
I mean, there's hindsight's always 20/20. You're always going to find those gems, but
sorry, I'm getting lost.
You're going to list the whole draft for us.
I'm just saying. I did also see Orlando Brown.
Oh yeah, Zeus Jr. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the last division here, the NFC North.
Ooh. I have the Packers.
I think it's the Packers.
I have the Packers too, but the question is there still like locker room drama, or is Aaron Rodgers ready to like put that all aside, win this year, and then look at next year?
I mean,
I don't think they.
It's the same conversation we had last season.
Yeah, I just don't think.
I don't think it was as serious last year yet.
It was pretty bad.
I just don't think it matters.
No.
Like, it's just if it feels like it's going to be a distraction for him if he's looking forward to next year already instead of focusing on this year. Now, I don't think Aaron Rodgers seems way too passive for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to like not do anything other than just do what I'm doing now.
Well, that's the thing. I think he's just going to be like
Aaron Rodgers does whatever the F Aaron Rodgers wants to do.
Right. And I think he's the kind of guy to like be like, yeah, I hate my situation, but like also I'm incredibly good at football. And I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
Well, he's also talked about, he's like, look, I stepped away from everything for a long time and I just really wanted to get happier. And now I feel happy. So I'm ready to go play football. So I think he's going to be fine. I really don't think it matters. I don't think it's going to, not saying like I agree with Aaron Rodgers and anything that he really is doing because I don't like him, but he, I don't think he is the kind of quarterback or kind of guy to even remotely let it affect both him. Or I don't think he's really going to let it seep into the team. I think he's just going to be like, look, I'm going to go try to win every game, and I'm really good.
And so, a minor concern is that he mentioned names specifically of players that were cut by the front office that he was mad about. Today, they cut Bronson Kafausi, the tight end, who Aaron Rodgers said, this guy makes me like the happiest guy. He's always he's the happiest guy I know. I love having him in the locker room. And the Packers were like, see ya. Granted, I don't think Kafausi is like a great tight end. No. But like, if that's the locker room guy that Aaron Rodgers wants to have around, you've got to listen to Aaron Rodgers. Suck it up, Buttercup. Let him be your tight end.
Or you don't, fully knowing he's not going to be there next year. So you just say whatever.
Right.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
Here's the problem though with this division. The other 3 teams are not good. Even like the Vikings. I have the Vikings 2 here, and they're bad. I mean, they've got a good running back.
The Lions are better than the Vikings.
No.
No.
I think Lions are dead last in the division.
Yeah.
The Lions, I mean, maybe this isn't a hot take. The Lions, the Lions number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
I have the Lions at 3.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a hot take. I mean, I was even debating saying number 1 overall, but the Jets are worse.
The Jets are terrible. Yeah.
But that does mean if the Jets get the first pick and the Lions got the second, the Jets probably aren't going to draft a quarterback.
That's true. I mean, Spencer Rattler or Sam Howell or someone.
I don't want either, though. That's
true. Then again,
we'll know more across the season, though. These way too early 2022 drafts are like, ugh. Like, we'll know more as we go along.
True.
I just don't know I don't really like the quarterback class either right now. But you never know. Maybe Keaton Slovis is the truth.
He's not.
Dylan McCaffrey?
Joe Milton? Joe Milton's arm?
Yeah, Joe Milton's arm. Yes, just give me the arm.
Just give me his arm.
I'll tape it to somebody else.
Yeah, I think the Packers are the only team that makes the playoffs. NFC North. I think the Bears. I think Justin Fields is going to be like cool to watch. Like I think I'm not, and I wouldn't still not write the Bears off as a potential. Like if I want to push the Seahawks out of there, which I thought about, because I don't really like the Seahawks, but I would put the Bears right. Like I said, they're the team that's on the outside looking in for me. I think they've got still a strong defense. If the offensive line can take a step, I really think David Montgomery is going to continue to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get adequate quarterback play this year, I mean they made it with Mitchell Trubisky. Like give it a chance.
I think they need adequate play calling
I don't hate Matt Nagy. I don't know. Maybe some people do, some people don't. But I think his first year as a coach was.
I just think the complete debacle was Trubisky, and it's not even Trubisky's fault. I don't think. I mean,
I think he had the yips.
Well,
I mean, he also played behind a crappy offensive line his entire
behind
time.
a bad offensive line, but the problem is, it's just like, look, the guy was not deserving of what you where you drafted him. So he's obviously automatically has overdone expectations from both fan base.
Jelani Tavai. He's a Jelani Tavai of quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, I mean, from both fan base and organizational expectations. If you traded up to draft him when he didn't even have to, if you really wanted him.
Yeah, Solomon Thomas was going to the 49ers no matter what.
Exactly. So it doesn't make any sense. You did not have to do anything to move up to get him.
For Mitchell Trubisky.
Maybe. There's a lot of mocks that had him right around 3, but that's where the Bears are picking at 3. Like, they could have had him there.
You did not need to trade up to get him, right? So suddenly now you do. So you're putting all this unwarranted expectation on him. The guy had one good college season. It's not like he had like a super long college career that was like decorated. He's not Trevor Lawrence.
And it was a class that had Mahomes and Deshaun Watson in. So it's like, okay, you're going to be a little more.
Can you imagine if they had Deshaun Watson?
They would be. I think they would have made an NFC Championship game for sure, at the least.
Yep.
With that defense.
Yeah, and they've definitely spoiled a good defense over the course of the last few years. So
right. So I think the problem isn't necessarily like Trubisky's fault. He just was never going to be that guy. In my opinion, he is a solid backup quarterback, borderline starter on a bad team right now. That's all he's going to be, and maybe he gets a little bit better eventually because he's still young. I mean, you can't completely write him off. He's got a great situation in Buffalo.
Oh, I think so too. I think that's a good position. Even like if he was a backup for a little bit, Josh Allen has tendency to like get hurt, not for like a long period of time, but like a half or a couple quarters, or like maybe miss a game this year. I wouldn't be surprised. And like if Mitch just went in as like a fill-in backup,
I don't feel like their season's over if they have to use Trubisky for.
But I think I think it could be a little bit of a Jameis Winston thing where it's like, dude, go back someone up for a little bit, get some confidence back, have people stop making fun of you, and then like maybe you find yourself in a starting position on that.
He's always going to be the MVP though.
The
Nickelodeon value, yes.
Yes. And they lost the game. Even though they lost the game.
So my playoff seeds for the NFC would go as follows. I have the Bucs, Packers, 49ers, Cowboys, Saints, Rams, Seahawks.
I have the Bucs, Packers, Rams, 49ers. Bucs, Packers, Rams, Cowboys, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals.
So you did stick with it.
I did stick with it. Okay. Yeah.
Bucs, Packers, Rams. Who else do I have on here? Hold on.
NFC East.
Probably. I think the 49ers have a better record.
East, Cowboys. Yep. Cowboys. And then. Man, this is hard now, though.
Probably the Saints or 49ers. I know you mentioned
Saints, and then 49ers. And then I have one more, right?
You gonna plug the Bears in there?
No. I'm debating Seahawks.
Or Cardinals?
Do I want to be crazy?
Be crazy, man. Put
the Lions?
The football team.
Ooh, okay. I like this. I like it.
High on the football
team. It'll be fun to look back again next year.
Because here's the thing though. If the Cowboys are good, let's just say they're solid, like a good team, they're probably going to win most of their division games, right? But even if the football team is a good team, let's just even say they're good, they're going to beat up on the other two teams. If they can even just squeeze one from Dallas, and then their defense just keeps them in every other game, they have a chance.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I actually don't hate the Washington football team there.
No, I don't hate it.
I'm not like disgusted by it, at least. I would have if we had like 9 seeds, I think I'd be comfortable putting the Washington football team as like 9 seed. But.
And if Dak gets hurt, then the football team's winning the division.
I think
they do have a
Cam Newton.
The one thing is they do have a division winner schedule this year. So like they play the Packers, they play the Chiefs, they play New Orleans,
Yeah, those are 3 L's.
Bay, Seattle. Like they play some. They have a tough schedule.
True. I think their defense is in almost every game. I'm telling you, almost every game.
They don't have many like cupcake teams. Like they play the Giants, which they should win. The Broncos, which will be kind of cool to see those defenses go at it, and then like Carolina. But like they don't really have any other teams that are like, oh yeah, they'll beat them.
They're gonna have like one or two. They're gonna have at least 1 or 2 surprise wins though.
Sure.
So I think that'll help it. Let's pick our conference championship games.
Ooh,
So
I got good ones.
AFC championship game.
I have the Chiefs and the Browns.
Okay. I have the Chiefs and the Browns up as well.
Chiefs, Ravens.
Okay. And NFC.
Rams.
Ooh. I love the love for Stafford.
And I have the Rams winning.
Oh my Lanta.
I don't at all.
Dude, yeah. Stafford's easily a top 5 quarterback. They win that game. Like they would be undisputed.
I just look at. Okay, yes, Sony Michelle, but it's better than this. It's no matter what, it's better than what they had before.
So here's what
Better than Cam Akers.
Well, I mean, better than what they had after that.
Gerald Henderson and
Yes.
what I look at is the Rams somehow patched together like a team that was like winning close game. I mean, they beat the Seahawks. I know it was the Seahawks in the playoffs last year, but like a tough. They became a tough team to beat at the end of the year last year with horrendous quarterback play.
That's what I'm saying.
Just horrible quarterback play. I mean, Jared Goff was like his hand was like broken and he couldn't even throw. And then he had who was the other guy?
Yeah, Wofford actually came in.
Yeah.
John Wofford.
John Wolford.
Yeah, John Wolford, who wasn't
XFL?
good. He looked like Shea Patterson out there. I mean, he was bad. Okay, so you had those 2 guys being the 2 quarterbacks at the end there, and they're still able to figure it out. And that honestly, what that did for me is that kind of proved, McVay's chops to me a little bit.
Yeah.
And now you put him with a good quarterback, and now you have an okay running back. I mean, before I think I was higher on them with Cam Akers for sure. And then as long as you protect Stafford, I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be good.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah, because they lost to the Green Bay Packers last year by only 2 touchdowns, but Jared Goff did play that game.
Yeah, he was bad.
Yeah, he was bad. But, like, you put Stafford on that team, he gets you at least another.
Yeah, I mean, that defense I know we don't have them super highly ranked when we break down individual positions other than, Aaron Donald.
But they play well.
But they play well.
Disciplined. They're extremely disciplined.
They're a good defense.
Well, and part of it is that, like, I know we're not on to awards yet, but, like, I could totally see Sean McVay winning Coach of the Year. Just because, like, people don't necessarily expect them to be – and people expect them to be good and wouldn't be surprised if they led their division, but they don't expect them to be, like, that good. So if they put together, like, an 11, 12-win season, like, people are going to be like, holy crap, Sean McVay.
So that being said, they're not going to beat the Bucs. So
yeah, I have actually the Bucs and Packers. And
wow,
I know it seems just
hot take.
I know it's just I went hot take on some of the awards. So give me that.
All right.
So Super Bowl matchup. Who do you guys have?
Rams, Chiefs winning.
Final score.
I always forget to do the final score. 38-24.
So the Chiefs winning. Okay.
Yes.
38-20. And who's your Super Bowl MVP?
Mahomes.
Okay.
I mean, Andy Reid, if I could pick him.
He's gonna wear the visor just to keep it going, baby. He doesn't even need it.
Bucs, Chiefs, and I have the Bucs winning again. It's gonna be. Last year I think I picked 41-34.
Yep.
Wasn't right. Picked the matchup right last year.
That was still an impressive pick, yeah.
I
think I called you Socrates or something.
It's less impressive, this year if it happens, because I think that'd be kind of pretty much chalk. But no one was sure about the Bucs last year. 31-21.
Okay. I also do have the Bucs beating the Chiefs again. I have 23-17. I had the Bucs kicking 3 field goals in that one. And then I have my MVP. Did you name your MVP?
No, I didn't. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay.
come on.
I'm taking Shaq Barrett, 2.5 sacks and a
Ooh.
forced fumble.
Ooh,
There's my hot take.
that'd be cool.
Um,
Miller.
Thought about picking Scotty Miller because that would have been fun.
hey, that's another good hot take.
Oh, he had a good Super Bowl last year. He
Yeah.
was good in the Super Bowl.
If he had like 200 plus receiving yards, he still would.
He would though. Deion Branch won it with that kind of numbers.
Mhm.
You never know.
It's just like Tom Brady's going to be feeding him the ball. So
Tom Brady fed Deion Branch the ball. Like that's the thing.
Did. Dan Branch had like 16 catches that game or something stupid.
Yeah,
I
he
just
went
don't.
off. Yeah.
Here's okay. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I don't think Tom Brady wins any more Super Bowls.
That's pretty hot. I mean, it's not incredibly hot because it's like the man's 46 or
44. Yeah.
The man's ancient, but it is a little hot because honestly, I look at this year and I don't know if it's going to be 07. I don't know if it's going to be 07, but it would not surprise me if Brady has one of his best years, if not his best year ever this year.
But I just think it's like this. It's if he doesn't win this year, which I don't have him winning it, I don't think he wins another one. So
Okay, I think he does win this year, so I think he does get his one more. But I do think this is also the year if he doesn't win this year, they're going to have to cut some pieces off that roster to save some cap. So,
sure.
All right, who are your top 3 draft picks? We kind of talked about a few of them already. I have the Jets, Bengals, Lions.
Ooh,
Jets, Lions, Bengals.
I have the Jets, then the Lions. Then I'll have to think because let me think because I did not pre-pick this. Jets, Lions for sure, number 1 and 2.
Texans.
John,
Texans would be a team.
Okay, I do not even have the Giants in my top 8. I did 8 of them. But
The Giants are not going to. I don't know. The Giants.
I think they're 10. I think they're right around 10.
I
But
could see the Giants being horrible too.
New York football.
Danny Dimes is going to have like a 1 or 2
Danny
game.
Dimes.
Saquon's gonna. I think.
I still don't think Danny. I think it's still a top 10 pick. Like I don't think that's super elite, but
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe I don't know.
Oh, who do you have as your 3, Ben?
Ooh,
The top 3 picks.
Yeah.
Jets, Lions, Bengals.
Okay.
Lions 2.
Okay.
The Bengals, and then I'd probably go Jags next.
Bengals have an awful roster. Even if you expect Joe
Burrow.
Joe Burrow could be good, I just think the rest of it's not good. Like and Ben already made the great pick of Chris Evans because he's officially the number 2 back. I think now they cut
Exactly.
Travion Williams.
Well, they did. I'm telling you, they're gonna split him out.
Going back to me because he doesn't punch women in the face.
Hey, do they? I don't know if they have Samaje Perine though. Still, that's the only other one.
I'm telling you, Evans brings more to the table though. He can catch the ball. They throw him out in the slot. You saw that touchdown.
He wears glasses. Makes all his glasses people look cool. Yeah.
He's Captain America.
Hey, yes.
Pretty much a winner.
Anthony Mackie. Yes.
Yeah, no, but yeah, crap. Forgot about
But yeah,
that.
Chris Evans.
No, it's Chris Evans.
Why do I get that now? I was gonna say, does he look like Anthony Mackie or what?
No,
Maybe he looks like Anthony Mackie. with
No, his
glasses.
name is Chris Evans.
Yeah, like,
The white cat.
yeah,
He does kind of look like Anthony Mackie. I mean,
a little bit. That's not bad. So I the
wow.
Falcons, Jaguars, Texans, and Eagles. I also have pretty low.
Falcons are not going to be good. Here's the thing. I said they're going to be better, but they're in a tough spot. And they're going to have to decide probably 9 games in what they're going to do. Like if they're in any sort of, I don't expect them to be any sort of contention, but if they're in any sort of contention at all, then they could probably hang on. But they got to figure it out because, they're too old. They're way too old.
So, okay, I'm going to list off who I think is going to be the worst in each division. I want to know if you guys would change it.
Okay.
Okay. AFC East, worst team is the Jets.
Correct.
AFC North, worst team is the Bengals.
Correct. I think so.
AFC South, worst team is the Texans.
Yep.
Or the Jags.
Actually, no, Texans I think are going to be worse.
Jags.
AFC
Okay.
West, worst team is the Broncos.
No.
Yeah, I have them worse.
No. I have the Raiders.
Okay. NFC East, worst team would be the. Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say Giants. But
Eagles.
I don't know. Yeah, I like some guys at the Eagles. The Eagles are going to be the worst. So I don't like Jalen Hurts is not it.
No.
And I don't think Nick Sirianni is either.
No.
I just think they need.
Actually, that might be their worst problem.
I think Jalen
Well-
Hurts could be like pretty successful in a different team where he just has to like do some stuff, but like they need him to like. The only time they were successful is when they had Carson Wentz win them 12 games. So and then, what's his face? Nick Foles play incredible for 5 games.
I think the Eagles and the Giants both have top 10 draft picks,
Yeah.
but I think the Eagles are worse.
Okay, worst team in the NFC North.
Well, the Giants have Saquon, so
Worst team in the NFC North, Lions.
Yes.
yes.
Worst team in the NFC South, Panthers or Falcons?
Falcons.
Panthers.
I would say Panthers.
Okay.
NFC
Panthers have the
West,
best player in that division, but they're still the worst team, which is
Uh-huh.
NFC West Cardinals. If we were, it depends
Yeah.
on how bad.
Seahawks, Cardinals. Yeah.
If you had to put money on it, probably Cardinals.
Yeah. Cardinals.
Cardinals probably. I think they're the problem is that's a team that I actually kind of like some of what they have.
The Cardinals. Oh, I do too. It's just such a.
I think they're such a close team. The problem is they're in the ridiculous division.
they're in the most competitive division. In football.
All right, let's get to awards. Who is your MVP for the 21-21 NFL season?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
Podcast has to pick.
By default.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Okay.
That might be hot, but I'm telling you, he could have his best year ever.
It's a little steamy. Yeah.
If I had a different, well, I'll let you go. 'Cause
I have Josh Allen for the Bills.
Okay. I was gonna say if I had a second pick, Josh Allen.
Okay. Yeah, a healthy Josh Allen, I think, could do some serious damage again this year. But again, there's the COVID concerns with the anti-vaxxers. You know,
Well, Beasley's gonna kill everyone on that team.
they may only play 4 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who is your offensive rookie of the year?
Trevor Lawrence. I'm thinking that's stupid. The boring.
So far, yes. Thank you.
Honestly,
It was hard.
who's the more-
But I think it's gonna be Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh, that is a hot take because he's been awful every preseason game.
I'd take Jamar.
He's been a disaster.
Jamar Chase has the yips.
Yes,
He can't catch.
that is a hot take though.
I'm sticking with it.
To me, that's like picking Jerry Judy last year. So I maybe.
He has ability. I mean, he's good. I mean,
Him and Joey Boy
physically.
just have to figure it out. They're buddies. They're buddies.
Okay, so I changed mine this morning, but I have Mac Daddy now.
Ooh.
Okay, well, he's gonna have the opportunity, so that's the difference. That the only reason I picked Lawrence is because I was like, all right, there's not that many. I mean, if you look at the top offensive rookies, I mean, Sewell is not going to win it because he's a tackle.
Good.
He's also been a disaster. He makes
Yeah,
me
he's
nervous
also
already.
really bad.
Yeah, I don't think he's been a disaster.
He's been pretty rough against like backup DNs like Ben Benogu from the Colts. Yeah,
He didn't get ran around by Ben Benogu.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was not a fun game to watch with the Colts.
I
But-
think it'll be similar to Jeff Okuda where he's going to take.
He'll get better.
I pray so. Yeah.
Joel was the one that was ready to tell DeAndre Swift to get on a bus.
After the first
Back in
game dropped,
Georgia
yeah,
last
after he
year.
dropped that first, I was obsessed with him preseason, and then he dropped the game winner.
And Joel went on
I
the
was like,
podcast
kill him.
next week like, he's dead to me.
Yeah, and then I got a jersey of him after the season. So I'm just so bipolar with DeAndre Swift. But yeah, I know. I really, it's yeah. So I wanted to go with a less, regular take. Like you took
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, the basic B pick, and I went Mac Jones. But it'll be interesting. I don't like Mac Jones, but I don't think he's super talented. But I think he's not going to make a ton of errors. And I think that Bill Belichick
I was going to say.
offense, he might just be consistently decent.
Yep. He's
I
accurate.
think Lawrence is going to have good
Absolutely.
games. Lawrence is going to have explosive games, but I think he's going to have disaster games too. Because he's aggressive. He's definitely aggressive. If you watch his film, he was thrown into coverage in a couple of preseason games. Like, okay, that's not your best decision, but
Right.
We'll see. So my defensive rookie of the year I had to put 3 names down, but I'm going to make my decision off the cuff from those 3 as we go. But they're all hot. I think all of them are pretty unique.
All hot takes.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Azeez Ojulari.
Ooh, that's a pretty good. He's like 7th, I think, in the odds.
Yeah, I think he's going to play against some very bad.
He's in the
offensive
Giants, right?
lines. Yes.
Okay.
He's going to play against some very bad offensive lines.
Okay.
So
I don't know. This one's a lot harder for me
I'm changing up my stuff right away. All right.
Okay. It's documented on the podcast. You can always refer to it.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to go. I don't know. I'm gonna go Jamin Davis.
He's one of my 3.
Yep.
So, Jamin Davis has kind of been right because he's been very good this preseason too. He's been fun to watch.
Preseason, he's gonna he's gonna have the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna a lot of tackles. Like, I think that's just gonna be what he's gonna figure that out. So.
Yeah, I put him down just because last year my defensive rookie of the year was Patrick Queen.
Patrick Queen, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that Jamin Davis could have similar numbers. And Patrick Queen was in the conversation, so I definitely don't see why Davis wouldn't be.
Who won it?
It was Chase Young. Yeah.
Oh, done. Yeah.
But there's no standout defensive. I mean, unless you could pick like a Kwity Paye or a
Kwity Paye is like ranked 4th, I think.
The highest picked defensive players were cornerbacks. And cornerbacks really usually don't win.
No, not unless they're just tearing it up.
Like defensive player of the year has been quarterback a few times, but like it's really like cornerbacks really don't win awards.
No, it's definitely safeties can because they might get those over top ones. But so my other 2 hotter takes are guys that are I think ranked 8th and 11th right now in odds. And 8th right now is Gregory Rousseau.
Ooh, I did see that actually.
So I'm thinking. I think if I'm going to put a gut feeling on it, I'm going to stick with Rousseau. But my other option was Peyton Turner for the Saints.
Okay.
Turner's been pretty good. I don't think he's played a ton actually this preseason, surprisingly. But they got rid of Trey Hendrickson, and they have someone that has to go opposite Cam Jordan. So maybe the other edge does okay. So that's what leads me to think that Peyton Turner might have a decent year. But I didn't really like him coming out of Houston, and he snuck into like the end of the first round for the Saints. But I was always kind of high on Rousseau. I had him and Kwity Paye as the 2 best defensive ends this year.
If I had a little bit of a hotter take, it's just because I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity because their linebacking core is so stacked. But Jabril Cox has had a very good preseason.
Yeah.
With the Cowboys. They just have.
He's a great cover linebacker.
No matter how good he was going to be, they have 3 linebackers that are better. Jalen Smith, Green Bay Rush, and then Micah Parsons is going to see the field for the Cox.
Yeah.
So if they wouldn't have drafted Parsons, I could see Cox getting like the playing time needed to win defensive player of the year, or defensive rookie of the year.
I still think they're going to slowly put him in the because he was still a 4th round pick. I don't know if he's like a guy that's going to see a significant amount of playing time early on, but I think by week 8 he'll have some good playing time. But my offensive player of the year is Alvin Kamara for the Saints.
So mine.
Okay, I thought that was kind of unique because I think he was ranked 4th or 5th.
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, that's a good standard pick. Yeah, he's got to bounce back too.
Mm-hmm.
I can go with a hotter 3rd pick if we want to be different than each other. Not hotter. Devontae Adams, I think.
Hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, I mean him and Rodgers have talked pretty explicitly about having some chemistry this year.
I did actually when I was so I put this together a couple weeks ago. When I first put it together, I did a really hot take and put George Kittle.
Okay. I like the hot takes ideas, but
so if there was going to be a tight end, it'd be Kelsey. Kittle just isn't going to see the targets, in my opinion. I mean,
I think a rookie quarterback. If Lance gets in there, I think he could. I don't know if Jimmy G is going to as much, but they always like the security blankets of tight ends. And everybody knows
they run the ball so much. They run the ball a lot.
But they have Mostert and Trey Sermon, so maybe they're not excited to hand the ball off as much. I don't know.
Sure.
My defensive player of the year. What is your? Did you say? Oh, you said McCaffrey. Okay. My defensive player of the year is a hot take. If I lay $20 on this guy, I get $1,800 back in return. I'm going with Brian Burns for the Panthers.
Brian Burns.
I don't think that's that hot of a take.
Oh, it's super high. He was ranked 18th.
Sure, but like still.
Okay.
Good. I think he's very good.
I do too.
No, I think it is a hot take overall. I personally don't like.
Okay. I think if I'm getting $1,800 as a return on $20, I'm like, okay, that's a hot take.
I want Darius Leonard.
Okay, yeah, great linebacker.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald, yeah, my guy. I'm glad someone on this podcast is consistently picking like the favorite. At least so you have it down.
Someone is,
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's not. Yeah.
Chase Young, I think, is actually the favorite. Aaron Donald's number 2.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's winning it.
Chase Young was the favorite I saw this morning.
I mean, now yikes because like he's amazing, but also yikes.
The fact that he was just the rookie last year, and yeah, he's a sophomore. He could have a sophomore slump. You never know.
Or it could just be amazing.
This is good stuff. Coach of the year, I have Kyle Shanahan for the 49ers.
I have Sean McVay of the Rams.
Okay, so NFC West so far. You're going to keep it going. Pete Carroll.
No.
Okay, Cliff Kingsbury.
No. Absolutely not. Nick Sirianni.
Hey, my guy, David Culley.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I think last year I picked Andy Reid.
You did.
I
think
pick
you did.
Andy Reid? No, either that or
You picked
Arians.
McDermott.
I picked McDermott.
I think I might have picked. No, I think I picked Arians.
You picked Harbaugh.
I did.
Yep.
McDermott.
I am gonna go with.
Hey, you have the Ravens in the AFC Championship, don't you? So maybe it
Yeah,
could
I
be
might go
Harbaugh.
with John Harbaugh again if they get there. I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I don't know. I don't think they'd give it to Arians because that's expected.
He won last year, didn't he? Though.
Yeah, it's expected now, and he won last year. I mean, if they go like some incredible, undefeated record,
They go 16-1 or 17-0. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but
yeah.
that's different.
Which they could. I love that roster. I
Dude, that
really
roster
do.
is insane. It's one of the best I've ever seen.
No, I just think people forgot about Sean McVay a little bit.
Well, with Matt Stafford, maybe they get reminded. I still don't understand how in the world they didn't decide that there was tampering going on when they met on the islands with Stafford and McVay all chatted that whole time. I'm like, how is this not indictment of tampering?
Sure.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm cool.
I think it's because Stafford technically requested a trade already, and so I think it was because he.
I'm at peace with it at this point. I don't care.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's the past is the past, but the past can't hurt, as Rafiki says.
Yes.
So, comeback player of the year. Who do you guys have?
I have Dak Prescott.
That's who I got. All right.
Saquon.
So,
between those two.
so the thing with Saquon though is a running back has not won the award since 2001 with Garrison Hurst.
Yeah.
So that's a throwback name for sure.
Saquon.
So, but McCaffrey is also in that
I was gonna
conversation.
say McCaffrey won offensive player.
So
It's
the reason I
easily the
didn't-
best
yeah.
group of running backs that are going to be eligible for comeback player of the year.
So the reason that I didn't pick McCaffrey for that is because I gave him offensive player of the year.
Right.
So I mean, they could give them both. It's possible.
That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, it would. That makes sense though.
Recap.
Huh?
Comeback
There it
player of the
is.
year.
Tim Tebow. He was actually a plus 3,300 2 weeks ago before he got cut.
He's now back to being a youth pastor. So
He's
Good
not
for him.
back to being.
That's still a very good and
He's back to
Good for him.
no, he's plus 90,000 odds. I'm pretty sure now. Yeah.
he's on like a podcast or something too. I don't know.
I mean, he should just
He needs to have his voice out there. He's a good person.
But what we should do is get him on the podcast. What we should do.
I couldn't find his number. I've
He
looked.
wouldn't fit on the screen. Have you seen that man?
Yeah.
We're just gonna have his man tits.
He should be one of those Christian guys that
Just his
rip
pecs.
photos.
Yeah.
Now that you guys are saying this, you're never gonna.
Yeah, baby.
You're never getting Tim Tebow on the podcast now that you're talking about this. It's just not going to happen. Now he's going to be like, these guys are making fun of me.
He's not watching this far. Maybe he is. Fingers
Well,
crossed.
he is if you ask.
Are we doing a breakout?
Yeah, we are. And mine's a hot take, I think.
Mine's probably as well.
Okay, I like that. All right, what you got?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
I think I picked him last year.
I'm trying to remember who you picked last year.
Who did I pick? I don't know. Jameis Winston.
You had Josh Allen. Jameis Winston. I like that.
This isn't an award they actually give out.
No, it's not. I don't know. Is it? No, I don't think it is.
Because I would say Josh Allen probably would have won the breakout player of the year last year.
And they give out the Walter Payton, and I don't think we're able to make that one cohesively.
No, because
The end of the year.
we could
Yeah.
pick it once they announce the candidates.
Maybe yes, that would make more sense.
But yeah, because each team picks a candidate, so we wouldn't be we could just pick a bunch of guys who aren't even eligible.
So you were the only one to do the breakout. You had Josh Allen
Or Kyler Murray.
or Conner, yeah.
That's what my notes say.
Okay. I actually have Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I like that pick. Mostly because he's on my fantasy team for
that, but also Homer of Michigan for sure.
And I also think he's gonna be pretty good.
Especially if there's more OBJ drama.
Yeah.
I just think, Landry's going to be the consistent 850 yards, 7 touchdowns, but someone else has to get the ball. So
Yep, I'd agree.
I feel good about that. I think he passed Rashard Higgins for the third wide receiver. So.
Yep.
All right. So we've kind of gone through a couple of hot takes, but if you've got any other ones you still want to rattle off that didn't organically come up, feel free to let loose.
Oh, I did have one. I don't think any coaches get fired mid-season.
I mean, I already kind of said it, but I think Tom Brady has his best season ever.
Yeah. I have Jameis Winston goes 35-15 with a TD to interception ratio. LASIK eye surgery fixes it. He goes 4,100 yards more. And I think he finishes top 5 to 10 in MVP votes. Ooh. I think he gets a MVP vote somewhere, whether it's like a third. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that pick. I mean, I think I was going to say Jameis leads the league in passing. I wouldn't be surprised.
They could be airing it out. I just don't think they have enough offense. Michael Thomas isn't who I like anymore. I think, they've got Traquan Smith. I think Marquez Callaway is another guy to look out for over there.
He was sweet in that game.
Oh, he's been very good this preseason.
Who's the really small guy?
I have Traquan.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about the guy who's really fast and they don't throw him the ball a lot, but they hand it off to him a lot.
He had like 3 names.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I just know they don't have great targets, so I don't really know what to expect for those yards. But I think I'm going to expect better performance, and I don't think he'll ever be considered to lose his job at Taysom Hill. My other hot take that I have is Dwayne Haskins will start at least 3 games for the Steelers this year, and not be completely dreadful in those 3 games.
No, yeah, I mean, I could see that unless they get like Cam or something.
That's the other thing, yeah. I don't think they chase Cam, though. And based on what Haskins has done in the preseason, I think maybe they do feel comfortable with him. And I think they still have Mason Rudolph. So it's like they have 3 quarterbacks on that roster right now that they can feel okay with.
I think I was thinking of Deontay Harris.
He's a kick returner, too, yeah.
He's 5'6".
So, yeah, those are mine. Now, for the last part of the NFL preview, I want to go over our Lions expectations. Obviously, final cuts were made at 4 p.m. today for all the NFL teams. What is your best case, worst case sort of deal that we're looking at for the Detroit Lions?
Best case, they win 5 games.
That's what I have. I have their ceiling as 5.
That's the best case, in my opinion.
So I think there's technically 5 games they could win, but there's I feel like you could say maybe 6 because there might also win 1 game that's like, how the heck did you do that? Because they've done that before. I feel like once a year they're like, okay, why did you win that game?
Here's my problem. When you go through their schedule, I can agree with you that you could probably find, but you can't sit there and say win, for sure win on any game. 0 games can you do that. And you could sit there and go, okay, I could probably find 4 wins or 5 wins maybe, but you can't sit there and go, they're definitely going to win. They're going to be a favorite in this game. They might not be a favorite in like any game, depending on how this shakes out early in the year.
So I have 5 as technically the ceiling, but like 6 if they also win that 1 game where it's like, why did you win that game? And then, but I have my regular season prediction. If I have to put a final number on it, is 3-14.
It's fair. 3-14's probably
terrible.
I'm gonna say 2-15. They're going to win 3 games.
I think they'd be.
So
Bengals,
I
think they beat the Eagles.
Okay. I'm selling the Eagles tickets. So that would stink if that was one of the few games that they won, because that's the Halloween game, and I'm going to go to the Monday night football game for the Kansas City Chiefs on November 1. So I have best case Bengals, Eagles, Bears home game, Vikings home game, Falcons.
Yeah,
so I think those are the 5 that they could.
They always play the Falcons. They play the Falcons like every.
I feel like they play the Cardinals every year too.
And the Cardinals, and they always lose to the Falcons.
Except last year.
Except last year, because Todd Gurley's a dum-dum.
Matt Stafford's the
goat. Todd Gurley gave them the game.
Yeah, he did.
Literally won the game.
So I don't know what. So what are you thinking? You guys both said 2-15. Okay.
I think it's. I almost said 4-13.
I'm confident enough to say they're not going 0-17. They're not going to be. It's not worse than their 2000. It's not worse than their 2008 roster. That team was awful.
Not, but I just don't. Here's the thing, though. I just think at this point they are so. I mean, there were some cuts, in the last week or so that we were like, man, that guy might be better. But like, I think they're at the point of just gutting this entire thing to where they're just like, hey, like we're just gonna get rid of everybody, even if they might be a better player. Like if they're not showing both the effort or the, I guess the promise in the future, then we're just gonna get rid of this person. Like there's no point to keep this guy here and then like wait on him again anymore. There's no point of doing that anymore. And I just think, in the end, it's going to work. I think it's a good idea what they're doing, because it is, signaling a culture shift. It is signaling just a complete transparency on what they're doing, just complete, change in what they were doing before. But it's going to be really, really bad this year. And it's probably not going to be it's going to be better, I would think, but it's not going to be that much better next year. And then hopefully 3 years down the road is when we start to see it paying some dividends. So I just think this year is going to be the year where it's like, guys, this is going to be rough. I mean, there's nobody on that team that I'm sitting there where I'm like, man, I can't wait to watch him play today. There's not anybody on that team. I mean, DeAndre Swift is like borderline where it's like,
obviously continue to develop too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's like he's a tight end.
Yeah, and you want to hope Jeff Okuda is better.
So I think
I'm sitting there going, man, can't miss TV or can't, appointment television for that guy. No.
Yeah. I mean, but a lot of teams in the league don't have guys that are.
I'd say over half. I'd probably say 20 of them do. But
Yeah.
At least 20 of them. There might be more than that. Like even like really bad teams have like, okay, the Panthers, are borderline as bad or maybe just a little bit better than the Lions, and they have arguably the best running back in the game. So.
And you can say like you make the case for like Trevor Lawrence and stuff is that guy now that you want to watch. Yeah. Like that's because the Lions didn't take like a sexy pick like that. Like they could have taken Justin Fields, but they took Sewell.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should have. I'm just saying like the Lions are a team I'm gonna watch, but they're not a team where it's gonna be like super excited to watch this guy play today. It's like there's no weapons. There's no weapons. I mean, there's no explosive offense, and it's not like they've just got a horrible defense. But they could score some points. They're not going to score many points. They're just not good, and that's where I look at them on paper, and the Jets are the only team that is has a chance can rival that, but on paper they are the worst. They're at bottom two. They're bottom three roster for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's their worst roster in the last 20 years next to 2008. I think 2008 is the worst. I think they're the second worst.
Yep.
So I think that I will say that, like, you can talk about like what's a team's best case scenario, but like
They also have to have a way to get to best case. And I think the only way that the Lions would get to like a best case of like 5-6 wins is like the one good thing you can say about them is they have a very good coaching staff. Like they're the coordinators and the people that Dan Campbell used to fill out his coaching room. Anthony Lynn is your OC. Like they did a very good job at filling out the rest of the room. So why I think that could translate to wins possibly is that they have a lot of blank slates when it comes to their positions.
Yeah,
like, they have a lot of young guys who really like are still developing in the sense that they don't know their play style yet. Like Penei Sewell does not know what type of lineman he is going to be yet. Like he can build on what he was in college, but he's going to develop into something that doesn't look like what he was in college, hopefully, like best case scenario. So I think the fact that they have a very strong coaching staff could translate to some young guys or some like a bit rough edged guys being smoothed out and playing well together. Like not saying, oh, we just need to be like the Patriots because we know how bad that went the past couple of years, but similar to something like that. Like they just had the one thing that made the Patriots so good for so long is they had a great coaching staff. Like not just Bill Belichick, but the people around him were very good at what they did and what they were asked to do. And they could take a guy who was kind of rough in like rough and not very direct or not very like specific at what he did on other teams and underperformed and like smooth out those edges. And I think if you have a good coaching staff, you can do that. Like you can, that is the upside of having a good coaching staff and not a already established roster.
What I would hope to see by the end of the year is just improvement. So if I were to pick some wins, obviously I know where you picked your wins, but I would just hope to see them in games against maybe some better teams at the end of the year. And I would hope to see, if they maybe they catch a team, not necessarily catch a team, a good team napping, but maybe a team that's maybe kind of mailed it in for the rest of the year who thought they might be a little bit better and then they suddenly are out of contention. Maybe they catch a team like that and can beat them late in the year. That's what you hope. I don't really think it's going to happen just because I think their roster is so depleted, just not a good roster this year. I mean, they've got a lot of work to do to build this thing, from a front office standpoint. But I think that's what you're hoping. You just got to see some improvement by the end of the year because they're going to be pretty bad. We can all accept that they're not going to be good and, borderline worst team in the league. So.
Yeah, I think you can put the ceilings on certain players. Like if all these players have some of the best seasons that they've had, I still don't think they're better than a 6-win team. And that's what's crazy. Like Tyrell Williams has been almost 1,000-yard receiver before. If Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 5 rookie receiver this year in performance, that's cool. If Jared Goff has 4,000 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, that's good. If Trey Flowers and Romeo Okwara each get 10+ sacks, that's good. If Derek Barnes is one of the best linebackers as a rookie, cool beans. Okudah has to take a big jump. The offensive line has to block through and through, and they cannot get hurt. That's the problem. Their best depth is very concerning.
Yeah.
So,
and typically somebody gets hurt, and that is the concerning thing. It's very hard to go the full year while being healthy.
And one thing about too, another kind of best case scenario type of thing is having a good offensive line. Again, something that just generally successful teams, regardless of who necessarily is the most explosive player, have just had good offensive lines. They don't have much for defensive line, which is a little. They got a couple things front seven wise, but nothing that's gonna scare other teams. They'll still get bullied by a really good offensive line on a different team. But what do you want for a young developing running back? A good offensive line. That's what you want. That's what you want. If Andre Swift is going to be his best self, he can do it behind a line that what the Lions have.
Yep.
Yeah, they've all got to take big jumps if they want to have any kind of semblance of a good year. That's why it's just safer to assume 2 or 3 wins.
Sure. And I just think the Lions fans and I know their coaches will keep everything in perspective, because they don't. Obviously everything was revamped and they're not expecting anything this year. But right. The fans just need to understand, hey, there's a process to this. It isn't going to happen this year. Just accept that. And it's not something that is a bad thing. Doesn't have to be a problem.
I was going to say, it's got to be the best thing.
Yeah, you don't have to look
at
it.
Not going the season with any expectations, but if they also are awesome, that's just crazy.
So go into it with no expectations and just hope the team improves. So hope the team gets better as the year goes on. That's what you got to hope for.